Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today I'm going to show you how to reupholster a chair. When you have upholstery that's worn out or an older pattern and you want to make it more modern, it's a very easy job that you can do yourself. All you're going to need is a pen, you're going to need a flathead screwdriver, you're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers, and you're also going to need a staple gun and a pair of scissors. And that's pretty much all you're going to need. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is let's take this top off the chair itself, and then we'll take it off and then we'll start to remove the material. Now, you're going to put something that you can put your chair up against, such as this here. That way you can put the chair, we can take the chair, turn it over, and put it on like this. And then over in here is the screws that you'll see that you remove. And when you take these screws out, you'll be able to remove the top off of the chair. So in this particular case, it's a flat-headed screwdriver. So you can just take it and take the screws out. And there's usually 4 of them that'll hold it together. And now we'll just take the chair, lift it off like this. And now we're going to take the fabric off. And the way you take the fabric off is we're going to take out all of these little staples in here. And we're going to take these out. So let's do that. Now you can get a tool that they sell to take these staples out. But if you use a regular screwdriver like this, just go underneath the bottom just like that. And just lift it up. Just till it pulls up just like that. And then you take your pliers like this, hook it on there, and you pull it right out. Okay, so let's do a couple more. Go underneath the bottom, just hook it. You're going to hook it by the very corner. Grab your pliers, put it underneath here, and just give it a twist, and you can pull it right out. And we're going to continue all the way around the outside here until we get them all out. Okay, now we pried up each one of these staples here so that they're all pulled up. And then after that, you just come again with your pliers, put it on here. Don't try pulling them up this way. Just put the pliers through there like this and pull it, and it comes right out. Now, before you go anywhere, I just want to tell you this. Make sure you put a number on here to correspond to the chair, because sometimes you'll find the chairs or the wood itself is cut at a different angle. So make sure you put a number on here that you're going to associate with the chair that it came off of. All right, then we'll mark it on the chair as well, someplace that's going to be hidden that you won't see it. And now we know that this chair has this wooden piece attached to it. All right, so let's clean this all up, get the fabric. Okay, here's an example of what kind of tools you're going to need. You're going to need most likely just a couple of screwdrivers, flathead screwdrivers. You're going to need a staple gun to put the staples back into the fabric once it's put back onto the seat. We're going to need some extra staples because you are going to go through a bunch of staples. You're going to need a scissor to cut the fabric, whether you use a regular scissor or use a scissor such as this that actually cuts the fabric at an angle so it doesn't tend to unravel. So, well, you can use regular scissors as well. We're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers to pull out any kind of staples that may still be left inside, a hammer to possibly tap down any of the staples that don't go in all the way, and of course something to measure the fabric itself, and then to cut the foam to the size you need. All right, so let me show you what we did with the foam, and we'll continue. Okay, as you remember, this was the seat itself. After we took the fabric off, we actually took the foam and we cut the foam slightly larger than the wood itself. And the reason for that is because when you pull over the material over the top here, you don't want to feel the wood. that you'll possibly be sitting on. So that's why the foam is a little bit longer. All right, what we also did is we took the foam and once we cut it, we marked where the wood was itself, and then we cut it about a ½ inch longer than the piece of wood. All right, and then we glued the foam onto the board itself so that it actually stays stationary. All right, next thing we're going to do is going to cut the fabric, and we'll start putting it back together. Okay, now after the material is cut, we lay it out the way the pattern is supposed to be on the seat cushion itself, and then we're going to turn it over. On the back of it, we're going to put in what's called 4 positioning staples just to hold the material in the location while we work with it. And these will be in the center of each of the 4 sides. You can pull the material as tight as you would like to have the material over the top of the seat, or I should say over the cushion itself. And again, we'll put that other staple right in here just to hold it while we're working with it. And then we're going to continue on the other side, and we'll put that positioning staple in there just to hold the material so we can work it a little bit tighter as we need to. And of course, we'll look at the other side just to make sure that the material is in the right location. Okay, and now once the material is in the right location, we'll put the rest of the staples in around the outside of it to hold the material where we want it. The corners, we're going to pull it up as tight as we can, and we're going to fold it to make it neat. If you have excess material, now is the time you want to cut that excess material out of the way so that we don't have a big bump of material underneath the seat cushion itself. You can use regular cutting scissor, or you can use one that's made from material. So if you use the one that's made from the material, it keeps it from unraveling when you make the cut. You won't get that strands of material coming out. Now we'll pull it up, and we're going to get the corner stapled in place. After the corner is stapled in, we're going to start to pull the material up for the side and the front of the cushion till we get the desired look, and then we put another staple in there to hold that in its position while we pull the material around. And if it's good, you should put a staple in it. And then we'll just continue around working each one of the corner, of course checking the other side to make sure that the material is not bunched up, any excess material we would have cut off. And after it's all stapled, we'll come up underneath the bottom, and we'll cut the fabric off that's going to go to cover up the material underneath the wood. And we'll get this black material here, or whatever you have, cut it out. We'll lay it over the top of the bottom section of the cushion, and then we'll staple that around the perimeter. We're going to fold it over on the end just to have a little bit of a lip so that the staple holds fairly tight. Again, we're going to start right in the middle again. We'll put a staple in the middle, and then we'll work from the middle to the ends to get the material so it doesn't have any bunches in it or any kind of a wrinkle or anything like that. And then once you have it there, you just stretch it out, put the rest of the staples in. All right, well, once we finish up this side, then we'll go down the other side, and we'll staple the material onto the other side as well. This makes it look more professional finish. You won't see the material and all the staples underneath the bottom once the job is done. Now we'll take it and we'll put it underneath the chair. We'll reattach the 4 screws that held it in place. That's why we marked it, so we know which seat cushion corresponds to which chair. And we'll snug these all down. And that's it. That's our finished product. And of course, when you do the rest of the cushions, you want to make sure that the pattern is very similar, as I'll show you right now. Okay? All the patterns line up
almost exactly. It's not perfect, but it's very, very close. And that's it. Job is all done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.